Hey guys, Brandon Woolham of CCM Magazine today, hanging out with Naomi Raine. How are you? Big week.
I am doing well. It is a big week and I'm like just shocked and surprised,
So
honestly,
just a
mostly.
few days ago, the new album Journey came out. Uh, what was that like? The waiting game to put that out. Looked like your family kind of surprised you the other day too when it came out. How was that waiting game getting that out to the public?
It was amazing, honestly, because I've just learned how to wait on the timing of the Lord. I wasn't frustrated at all, even though it did take like 6 years for me to complete this project and put it out. I was just kind of like rolling with the punches. But I'm super excited that it's out. I feel like relief, kind of like it's kind of like giving birth. I know you don't know what that's like, but it just feels like relief, and then you get to hold and look at your little baby.
That's the same way Tasha Layton described her album to us that just came out a few weeks ago. So this one,
Yes.
it truly is a journey. 22 tracks on this, and several of those are interludes that you recorded in your car, just talking. Was the original plan when you were thinking about recording those? Was it to be on the album, or is that for something completely different?
It was to be on the album, but this is how it started. I was driving and I was listening to the music, and when the song finished, I just was like, you know, blah, 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 and I just started talking about like what the song meant to be. And yes, I was talking to myself, but it was like, oh, I just felt like I needed to record it, so I just literally hit record and started talking. So what you're hearing on those chats is literally like my first thoughts after processing the song that I had written, if that makes sense. It was like in the moment. I didn't do it a bunch of times. I just wanted it to be as organic and real as possible.
So you finally get the album done. You go back to the producer and say, "Hey, I've got this other idea and these other tracks I want to put on the album."
Yes, they're used to me doing that though.
So on this one, you definitely talk about your mental health quite a bit. What made you take that battle public?
I think Jesus made me do it. And I say that jokingly but seriously, because I am a very private person and I would like to keep my business, and your business, but seriously, I think it was important for me to share, because I think so many people, so many Christians especially, have so much shame and struggle. We are ashamed of our struggle, and I don't think that we should be ashamed of being human and living real life. And sometimes it's not because of sin, that we're struggling. Sometimes you're just dealing with life, and it's difficult, and I think we all need a blueprint, or at least it's good to hear or see someone else's struggle. It helps us feel like, okay, I'm not alone. It gives us hope and helps us to keep fighting.
There's a lot of songs on this album, so after people listen to the full listing there, what's one you want them to go back and make sure they really listen to closely?
Hmm. I think I would want them to go back and listen to Like You, um, and Okay. I think, that because the literal album is a journey, you're literally walking through my whole journey pieces, right? And it ends, I think, super beautifully, like, okay, like I'm good, I'm okay. I think it could be easy to like nitpick and get little spots and miss the fullness of it, but I think Okay, kind of gives you the full gist of where I am, as well as Like You.
Awesome. So some other stuff going on in your life right now. You're touring with Maverick City and Kirk Franklin. How's that going so far?
You know what? It is a thrill ride every single night. We are dancing, we are singing, deep worship. It is beautiful. It's one of the most challenging things I think we've ever had to do as Maverick City Music, is to collaborate in this way, because our sounds, ours and Kirk Franklin, are so sonically not opposite, but just on different sides of the spectrum. And it's been an honor and a privilege and a full challenge to make these work together. But I think we're proud. We're so proud of ourselves every single night, because it just works. It just works.
It almost feels like these past couple months, you guys have just went ahead and recruited Kirk into Maverick City at this point.
He is definitely a maverick. We claim him, we love him, we want him. And we'll see. We'll see. If there's a book one, there'll be a book two, and we'll see if there'll be a book three, four, five.
Yeah, yeah. So how did that collaboration start before you get the tour and you get the Kingdom Book One? How does Kirk approach you guys, or do you approach him? How did that happen?
Well, Kirk and Chandler have always had a good relationship. And then when Chan moved to Dallas, it strengthened, and they were just talking. And Kirk was like, I'm not really working on anything. I'm not doing anything. And so, our management, some of our management, with Maverick had reached out to Chan, like, hey, who would you want to tour with? And he's like, I don't know. I mean, I would think Kirk, but Kirk is not, he's not doing anything right now. And the management, he was like, just ask him. And so he literally asked Kirk, and Kirk was like, yeah, like, let's do it. And it really started with us visiting the prison and going in there. And so it like evolved from there and got us to
That's
tour.
awesome. So you're one of the leading songwriters in Maverick City too. And when you're writing these songs, how do you decide what goes to Maverick City and what gets stashed for your solo stuff?
Hmm. No, I think, well, number one, just logistically, it depends on where I write the song. So if I write the song at a Mav camp, then they have first dibs on all of the songs. But generally, I think if I feel like something is super duper personal, I always kind of reserve it for me. I also listen to the sound of it. Like if it sounds like Mavy, I don't know if that's a word, but we're gonna let it be one today. If it sounds like Mav, then I'm like, okay, cool. If I can hear collaborators and like multiple leads, I'm like, okay, that's more probably a Mav thing. Other than that, I'm like, okay, I think I can maybe do this song. And now I think I am going to be trying to maybe do some of both. And so some songs that you might hear me do with Mav, I may re-record on my own.
Nice. So after you finish this Maverick City tour, is there going to be a Naomi solo tour in the works?
You know, um, yes. I think before I go out on my own, though, I may grab a couple of ladies and go out with them. Not making any promises, but
But maybe something
maybe.
will be announced soon.
Yes.
So several of you in Maverick City have the solo careers now. How does everybody juggle that with the touring, all the recording, the family life? It's a lot to juggle.
It is so much to juggle. I keep telling people like, Mav, we're not a group, right? We're a collective. So we've always done our own individual artistry beforehand, and then we brought everything together to be Mav, and then Mav blew up and became this thing. And we're all like, but we're a great team, like we might not be a group, but we're a great team. We love that. In that there's fuel to keep doing that because we have each other. But then, you also have the fuel to do your own thing because it's the thing that you feel like God has called you to specifically do. And then there's family and stuff. So I think right now it's by just being fueled by the love of each thing. And I think God has graced us to do this. I know for me personally, I feel like I have a grace to run like this. I don't think this grace will last forever. And as long as it is here, I'm going to keep running. I know my grace won't run out on my family though. So I will always be doing that. And hopefully I get to make music and sing and worship with y'all as long as I can.
Sounds great. You can see her on the road right now with Maverick City. You can also stream the new album. I guess you can still buy albums too, right? Can they buy it somewhere?
Yes. Yes, you can. You can buy it on most of these platforms, not Spotify, but Apple Music, Prime. Like,
Yeah, yeah. So you can get like 10 pennies instead of 1 penny if they do it that way.
we're just working our way up little by
go
little.
go get it however you can. Journey's out everywhere now, and of course, like I said, she's out with Maverick City and Kirk, and then a solo tour sounds like it's coming. So stay tuned to her website for that.